One thing I hear all the time from the community is that they don't have enough silver to do the fusion. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to ensure that you do. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to be talking about how to get silver in the game. It's one of the bigger things that I hear. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about doing fusions and they say they can never do them, right? The most common thing that I tend to hear is I never have enough silver to upgrade my gear. But what you might not know, and some of you will, but some of you may not know, and my audience has grown a little bit, so I want to remake this video. I've done it. I don't remember the last time that I did it, but I do make this video every once in a while. But I think it's important to remind players, new and old, that you have some resources at your disposal that you don't always realize. So one of the first things that we're going to talk about today is going to be Forge. Now, obviously, when you have, 3,000 pieces you can forge, there's silver involved there. But there's a little trick in the Forge that you might miss on. If you look at some gear, one of the best pieces to forge in here, we'll look at Perception, right? So you look at the 5 to 6 star gear that I can forge. And yes, I can forge a lot right now. I just happened to not do a bunch during Clan v Clan recently, but I want to show you something. Listen up. I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril, as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. So you'll notice that there's an orange banner around these materials, right? And there's a purple banner around these. You have legendary materials and you have epic material. When you go down to the 4 to 5 star, it uses rare materials, the blue bar, and the epic materials. When you go down to the 3 to 4 star, it only uses the rare materials. The 5 to 6 star, the stuff that you want to be forging once you're probably towards the end of the early game and into the mid and end game, is this stuff. You don't really care about 3 to 4 star gear. This is your silver supply. You can get a lot of silver from this, and I'm sure you're asking, well, where am I going to get these rewards from? Well, if you haven't yet unlocked hard faction wars, when you go do regular faction wars, which I can't really, actually I can demonstrate right now, after you do some of these, because it's 8, right? So you get 18. If we do super raids, you can do that twice. That's 16. You have 2 pieces left, right? And then that's where you come up and you do one of these areas, right? So stage 9 with your remaining 2, and you're going to see that's going to give you rare and epic materials, right? Where here you're in the higher levels, you're only going to get epic and legendary. Now I'm curious about hard because I just haven't looked. Yeah, it's going to be all epic and legendary materials. So it may not be as prevalent as we start only farming hard faction wars moving forward, but it is something that most of you should have right now if you've been using those extra keys. And I know a lot of people tend not to use those extra keys, but it goes a step further than just faction wars, right? Because don't forget, you also have gear in here from Doom Tower. So you've got Bloodthirst gear, Guardian, Fortitude, Lethal, right? Which a lot of us tend to farm. You may get some of those rare materials in the course of that process. Just even if you're not farming in there at the lower stages, just progressing, every day, you're getting some of these rare materials in normal and maybe even the lower levels of hard. Maybe. I'm curious now. Let me just check really quickly. Okay, so on hard, you won't get any more of those. But if you're going back and using your keys in normal, like I am, you're still going to get some of those rare materials from those early dungeons that you're doing, right? So you should almost always have something to forge in here to get silver. So let's go ahead and demonstrate this for you. Now, if you look at the cost here, this is another important part about this tip. So it's going to cost you 10,000 silver to craft 10 pieces. Now, don't forget, we now have quick craft, so you can actually do this way faster, but just to demonstrate the value that you gain I will go ahead and show that to you here. So we're going to craft 10 pieces that cost 10,000 silver. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sell. That was 16,000. I've already paid for itself, right? So now we're up 6,000. Now we're up another 13, up another 15, up another 7, up another 9, another 8, another 8, right? I'm not going to add up all the totals here, but you can clearly see that we made a massive profit on what was a 10,000 silver investment. This is a huge resource. You can also take it a step further too, right? Like you could also craft some of this stuff because there's a good chance that a lot of it you might sell if you're a more progressed account. But this is a great place to get silver if you were in a pinch. And I have been in a pinch many times. When you're looking to level champions, when you're looking to build gear for a new champion, and you don't have the silver to upgrade that crucial piece that's going to make that champion, that's when, whether I'm in a fusion or not, I will come into the forge and I will hit this stockpile, craft some crappy gear, sell it, make a couple 100,000, maybe even 1,000,000 silver, depending on how much I do, and then go ahead and level that piece of gear. Okay. Now, another tip that you guys love to share with me in the comments is taking gear from 12 to 16. So if we take a look at the gear enhancement event that's going on right now, you will see that the point values really ramp up at level 16. So what I know a lot of players do is they keep gear leveled at 12, and instead of leveling a brand new piece from 1 all the way up to 16, they're going to level a bunch of those level 12 pieces just to 16, right? So you're going to cut out some of the silver cost involved by just doing the later half, especially when you're talking about 5 or 6 star pieces, which you should be. You're going to see 270 to 340. That's just getting those pieces to 16. So that will be a big part of it, because if you look at the lower levels, you know, taking something from 1 all the way up to 12 isn't a lot of points here, but when you go from that 12 to 16 mark, it is. So it's another kind of tip if you're just leveling stuff to 12 as you're progressing through the game, and then you can take a look and say, all right, what level 12 pieces do I have? You know, do I have ones that are ready to go up to 16? Maybe even some pieces that are on some champions. You know, you can take a look and say, oh, you know what, that champion didn't have a piece, or that champion has a level 12. Let's go ahead and upgrade that all the way up to 16. My gear is all over the place right now because of Faction Wars Hard. I'm always bumping gear around champions right now, and I've been doing a lot of gear leveling and stuff, so it's kind of in a weird spot right now. But that is one of the other things that you can do, is just trying to take stuff up to 16. And, you know, if you can find those pieces, like here's a good ring, right? I probably only took this up. You know, I wanted this for the accuracy more than anything else for Faction Wars Hard. And, you know, it's something that, oh, I could take it to 16, get a few extra stats, and get an easy 300, I think it was 340 points for the gear enhancement event. So yeah, like I said, this is one of those areas that I hear from so many viewers and people in the comments that say, Roadblock, I can't get enough silver in this game. It's impossible. And it's really not. You have to be conservative with it. You gotta save. You don't want to be investing in bad pieces. You want to try and invest. I mean, there's a breaking point, right? Over on my Supreme Galek account, I'm leveling up 4-star pieces, right? I'm leveling up weaker 5-star pieces. But over here, if it doesn't have speed, I'm not really dealing with it, right? And you don't really want to invest in those pieces. And that may mean that you're not leveling. I haven't leveled gear outside of fusions in a long time, until Faction Wars Hard came out. So between probably like a couple months ago and now, I really haven't had the need to like push my champions into those next tiers of stats, because there wasn't areas that were difficult enough for me to do that, right? So anyways, I really hope this helps you guys. Like I said, I like to make this video every couple of months just as a reminder to you guys that you have this as a resource, especially during a gear enhancement event, and especially during a gear enhancement event for a pretty good fusion that I think a lot of us are excited about. Really quickly, you know, we have a little bit of extra time here. Progress for me is on track with the fusion. We've got the Dungeon Divers rare. We've got the Summon Rush rare and epic. You guys probably watched that video where I pulled Sacred Shards and really do great. And then on the tournament front, we have the Champion Training Tournament completed. I went ahead and, you know, I mentioned this in another video. We're going for mythical stuff, right? So I went ahead and got the additional mythical fragments there. And the Spider Tournament, I completed a little bit after completing Champion Training. I finished it off with a little bit of Spider. Why Spider, you ask? Because yes, there's a tournament going, but if you're just looking to farm one of the dungeons for Dungeon Divers, and like, let's say you've already completed like an Ice Golem tournament as an example, because Ice Golem, I don't know about you guys, I hate running Ice Golem, and this ties into the silver thing. If there's an Ice Golem tournament and you've completed that tournament, but you need a few more points for Dungeon Divers and there's no other event going on in that moment and you just want to top it off, I do recommend running Spider's Den. Now, this is when the event dungeon isn't going on, right? The event dungeon is going on right now. That is a good place to go ahead and do it. The reason I do Spider's Den is because it's my fastest one, and I haven't really dabbled in the event dungeon yet. You know, we've talked about this in other videos. I've been very busy lately, so the event dungeon, unfortunately, is a little bit on the back burner because I don't really have time to sit down and build a team because I'm so focused on the fusion. But I do know that this champion is really good against the dungeon boss, so maybe once I get him, I won't have a fusion to do, then we can focus on the event. Anyways, just an update about what's going on with my account. We will call that a video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support you've been giving me. I'm very happy. You guys have been great in the comments. You guys have been reaching out on Discord, in both my, you know, public statements and private messages, talking to me about mental health and stuff. So that's awesome. I'm glad. I appreciate that. I'm doing very well. Thank you guys so much for the support in that department. And also thank you for the support on the channel. I appreciate all of it. And if you are looking to support me, if you are new here, please consider clicking that subscribe button. It's the best way to support my channel. Help me get even closer to my dream. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.